Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. Daily Compliance News for February 18, 2023. That's a lot of White Castle's edition. And we begin with that story as White Castle faces a potentially $17 billion fine, penalty, and lawsuit after the Illinois Supreme Court ruled that a company illegally scanned fingerprints of nearly 9,500 employees without their consent. This was a violation of the state's unique biometric privacy law, and the key was not simply that that White Castle took these fingerprints without permission, but that each time they misused a private person's information, it was another fine. So every time they scanned or collected or transmitted any of that, it's a separate fine. And White Castle, you're going to have to be selling a lot of 25-cent hamburgers to pay for that. Next up, from the New York Times Deal Book, the SEC is cracking down on cryptocurrency. It charged Singapore-based Terraform Labs and its founder, Do Kwon, with orchestrating a multi-million-dollar fraud. The announcement came as the failure of Terra's collapse sent shockwaves through the market, and Chief of Enforcement Gurbir Grewal said that it was just simply a fraud. So a big crackdown on crypto is coming. Next up, from the Los Angeles Times, the judge in the Sam Bankman-Fried criminal trial, SBF, has said that he is in danger of returning to jail after a bail hearing at which the judge expressed skepticism about whether the FTX founder could be trusted to remain at home with access to the internet while awaiting trial. He had set up a virtual private network so that he could talk to current and, former FTX employees in violation of his bail terms. He claimed it was so he could watch the Super Bowl, or at least his lawyers claim that. So SBF may be getting ready to have to face the music. And from the Wall Street Journal, the first athlete or celebrity to endorse cryptocurrency, Paul Pearce, or one of the first, will pay $1.4 million to settle regulatory allegations that, not that he endorsed a crypto, but he did so without disclosing that he'd received shares for his work. So this could bode very, very poorly for many more prominent athletes, such as Tom Brady. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.